She started a movement yesterday.
She
Please
has.
welcome the very brave Alexi Halket. And I say brave because it was your 18th birthday, and rather than celebrate and be with your friends, you put on quite the protest, and many came out yesterday. Set the scene. How did this all get started?
Well, on Monday, I wore an outfit that I would have worn any day, and I have been wearing for the past 4 years that I've gone to this school. I wore that to school because it was warm out, and I got called into the vice principal's office because a male teacher had told her that what I was wearing looked too much like a sports bra and that I needed to cover up because it was inappropriate.
And what was your reaction? What was the vice principal's reaction to that?
Well, I politely said, I don't, like, this is a shirt. I don't believe that this is inappropriate. It's a warm day, and I don't feel like I should have to cover up my shoulders because I don't think that my shoulders put out this, like, message that this is inappropriate.
So were you then expelled, or what happened from there?
They asked me to cover up, and if I didn't have anything, that they would be able to give me something, and I said, I'll check my locker. But on my way, I was like, I don't want to, and this is something I strongly believe in, and so I'm going to go back there, and I'm going to politely tell them that I'm not going to cover up, and I'm going to argue this.
So how did this begin?
Well, after I went back to the office, I talked with the principal for an hour and a half. It was a very polite and respectful conversation. I don't dislike him at all. He's a great person. And once I came out, there was no conclusions drawn, except they said, because I said I had an outfit lined up for tomorrow because it was my birthday, and it looked very similar to the one I was wearing.
When's your birthday?
It was yesterday.
Yesterday, okay.
Yeah, so this all happened on my birthday. Yeah.
Wow.
And I said that, like, this whole week I have outfits lined up that make me feel beautiful and stuff, and that I was planning on wearing them. And they said, well, if you don't want to be called into the office on your birthday, then I suggest you change. And so that's how the conversation was left. And so I went out into the hall. I talked to my friends, and I was like, this is kind of not right. And they were like, oh, I completely disagree. I'm going to wear a crop top tomorrow for you. And that's how it started.
And the guys wore them, too.
Oh, yeah, of course. I went online. I invited 300 people from my school to this event, Crop Top Day, that I just kind of made up when I got home. And then they invited everyone else at the school. They invited people at other schools. People went on Twitter, tweeted to, like, hundreds of thousands of people around the world. So I have people from like 10 countries that have contacted me saying, hey, we support you, hashtag Crop Top Day, hashtag Stand in Solidarity.
Now, let's find out what people are saying this morning, since we brought the story out this morning. Winston, what's the reaction online?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of reaction under the hashtag Crop Top Day. I think that is something that a lot of people were inspired that you were able to stand up and really push that message forward. But of course, we're also getting a lot of tweets from our viewers as well. Danny says, shouldn't matter what she wears as long as she is learning at school. That's all that matters. Another one from Edward. If it's a dress code issue, it's not appropriate, but this person also hopes that it does apply to both men and women. Men often wear really revealing tank tops as well. And then on the other side, Robert says, boys and girls should be taught appropriate outfits for employment. That being said, they should be free to express themselves.
So, Alexi, do you think then there should be a limit, and what is it? And was that ever expressed? Are there rules and regulations as to what you are allowed to wear at your school, and were you actually breaking any of those?
The dress code at my school, it's very open, and it basically says be respectful and don't wear any clothing with offensive or profane language or slurs. And so that's why I was confused, especially since the period before I got pulled into the office, there were 3 shirtless guys in my gym class that had taken off their shirts because they were overheated.
But some are saying that's a gym class, just like, you know, women may be wearing a different kind of sports bra.
They commented,
for volleyball.
I've changed with my sports bra in the gym class before, and I've been told to go into the change room and change.
So, well, again, though, what do you think the limitations should be, though? Because if a lot of people are talking about getting rid of dress codes completely, but people will take advantage of that. What should the code be? Have you given thought to that?
Yes, I definitely have. And I think that the most important thing is that whatever the schools decide, it should be completely equal for men and women, and it should be enforced that way. Some schools have it written in where, oh, men have like, oh, no tank tops and stuff like that, and females have no midriffs and stuff, but it's usually mostly enforced just to the women.
You're obviously very articulate, very talented. What do you want to do? You just turned 18 with your career.
Lawyer.
That's what my mom says. I'm a musician, and so that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to get a full-time job, and I'm going to pursue my music.
Well, Ed Robertson is here
Yeah, he's
this morning
here.
for Bare Naked Ladies, so maybe he could have a little chat with you, a little career advice.
Yeah.
And very quickly, because Dad is here, Craig. I mean, you're watching this right now. Did you not yell at her saying, "You're not leaving here like that young lady"?
No, Alexi's always been a very, she knows what she's doing. She's very respectful, and there have never been any issues with Alexi at all. So to me, this kind of came out of the blue, and I didn't have any problem at all with the outfit she was wearing that day. So,
And it's all relative, right? It depends on who and how everyone else is dressing within that school. Mine, it was very strict. Tracy Pearton makeup, it was the opposite. Everybody was showing their midriffs and wearing bodysuits, so it wasn't seen as distracting because everybody else dressed like that.
And no matter what, Alexi, right or wrong, dress code needs to be changed or not changed. The whole thing is you have stood up for something you believe in for good reason, and I wish you all the power just for that reason,
you
no
so
matter
much.
what. Like, that's so important to get involved. You see something you feel is wrong, stand up responsibly and respectfully, which I think you have done. So congratulations
Thank you
on
so
that.
much.
Well said. And happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more BT. Kevin is wearing his crop top tomorrow.